What's up, y'all? This is the Curious One, and wanted to talk to you about my Lansky system and some of the things that I've learned. And if you're going to buy this system, hopefully these will help you to not make the same mistakes that I did. So the system that I bought was around $40. I can't remember exactly how much it was. I bought it at an Academy, Sports and Outdoors. It does come with the case. I don't have the case. I don't really use it. I don't carry this system around with me. I just use it while I'm at home. So I have all the rods in the stones, and I leave them that way. I don't take it apart, put it back in the case, and then put it together when I want to use it, whatnot. So my particular one came with a extra course, which is 70 on the scale that they use, because the grit scale varies, I think, depending on what type of stone it is and who's making it, because you know, people patent stuff and other people can't use it then, and whatever. And then it's a coarse stone 120, a medium 280, a fine stone 600, and an ultra fine stone 1000. And I believe this is a ceramic. So it also came with this clamping system. As you can see, the red thing has actually come off of mine, and I'm okay with it because it makes this it gives it a smaller footprint, so on the higher angles I'm not actually hitting it. Also, I don't really unscrew this part. I only unscrew and screw this area to put the pressure on it, on the blade, that is. So I picked up this stone on Amazon. It's a sapphire polishing hone. That is a supposedly, well, on their scale, it's a 2000 grit. And then I also picked up this one, which is a leather stropping hone. Unfortunately, these don't come with rods, so I'm actually going to have to remove a rod from one of these in order to put onto that. That sucks because I don't like moving things around and adjusting stuff. I would rather just have everything set up and then just do it. I also bought a stand for it. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. And first I'm going to tell you where I've messed up with this. I mean, it's not too bad, but so we're gonna have to change this around, so give me a second. Okay, so basically what I was doing before was I was holding the knife in my hand, just picking the angle that I wanted, and then I was swiping across, right? So I guess I'll tilt it this way and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So I was twisting, and then I would turn it around in my hand and I would use the same angle and swipe this way. You guys like the sound effects? I know you guys like the sound effects. Anyways, So when I would get to the tip of the blade right here, the stone would do this number, and I would round the tip off. So what I started doing instead was I would set it up to where it was in the center of the stone and move this direction. So that way I'm stopping at the end of the blade. So that way I don't get that rounding motion. But I have, I'm not going to say mess the blade up on some of my knives, but I'm going to say they need work. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of trying to fix this one back up. The tip on this one is rounded off just slightly, well, a little bit. Not only that, but because of the way that I was doing it, if you look at this hole, the way the rod fits in it kind of moves around a little bit, you know what I mean? So from here to here, that's a difference in the angle, right? Slightly, but enough to where it makes a difference. Also, how deep you're clamping that knife in and how thick that blade is also going to make a difference in the angle, right? So I was guessing before, but now I'm what I'm doing is, with this particular knife, when I put it in the clamp, I took a picture of it on this side, and I know that it's so far onto the R, and then I took a picture on this side, and I know that it's just on this side of the M, and I know that it's almost perfectly lined up with this grind right here. So that's going to give me a little bit better idea of where to clamp this knife the next time that I do this. So hopefully I don't have to run through every single stone again and get my burr and then clean the burr off and go all the way through. Hopefully the next time I can clamp this down and go with the yellow and then hit the blue and then strop it, instead of completely reprofiling the entire blade every single time I clamp it into this system. Also, hopefully that stand is going to help me as well, and like I said, I'm going to show you that. I believe right now I'm on the course. I'm going to go ahead, because I was in the middle of sharpening, but when I decided to do this video, if everything works out alright, I'll probably go ahead and I'll continue to sharpen, and then maybe I'll show you guys the end results at the end. But the other thing that I've begun doing is I'll do one side. I remember CRKT. This side is where I start. So the side that says home front, that means that I finished with that side. So if my burr isn't good on this side, which means it would be on this side, okay? So if my burr isn't good on this side, then I'll start over and I'll start on this side and start on this side. And I'll always end on this side without hitting the stone. I can move to the next grind and hit this side, and then go to that side, this side, that side, this side, that side. And when I'm done, this side should be facing up. Pretty sure I made that incoherent, but I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Okay, so this is the stand that I bought. It comes with a flat plate and this rod right here. It screws in to the right. So when you go to remove this, you're going to twist it to the left and pull up, because when it first comes, of course, it's really tight. After a lot of use, of course, it's going to get loose, and you know, that's just things wear. So then you're going to place it on the hole, right? Push it all the way down, and this is going to kind of make everything a little bit more stable, make it so you can use it. And also, it's going to make it so that you can take the rod, place it in your slot, and you can press it up so you're getting a little bit more consistent angle. The other thing with these is you're going to want to place them on the table, and you're going to want to make sure that the rod is lined up with the stone itself. Now, it's practically impossible because they're going to bow a little bit, and you're going to need to bend them slightly and try to get them as close as possible. You know what I mean? But you're probably going to get a little bit of bowing right here where it's not completely touching. Right here is going to touch, right here is going to touch, but right here in the center is going to be like a fingernail maybe off of the plane. So just try to get them as close as what you can. Otherwise, you're going to bend them all day and they're going to be like super crooked. So another thing that I've been doing is I've been placing my finger right here on this first knuckle, right? Holding it right here up as high as I can, and I'm pushing in the stone all the way, and then as I draw across the blade, I use my fingernail to find the edge or the point. And when my fingernail is halfway, when the point of the knife is at halfway of my fingernail, that's when I stop, so that I'm not rounding the edge off, or else I will go from here and draw it this way, and I'm using my finger as a guide to where when I hit the bottom of this blade, I'm drawing to where my finger goes right there, right? So, and I'll finish a little bit off sometimes, but it gives me a good general idea of how far I want to pull, because I don't want to come off and go like this, because then I just rounded that blade, right? I don't want to fall off the blade. So I'm using this knuckle right here as a way to kind of guide myself and give myself, I don't know, about a ½ inch of failure. You know what I mean? So hopefully I can stop before I miss that ½ inch. Down here I'll start like this and move up this way. but it gives me a general idea. Start up here like this, and then draw and try to put my finger tip on the tip of the blade and stop. Like so. And then after I've done my strokes on this side, feel for a burr. See if the burr goes all the way across. Sometimes you'll have it to where you got a burr over here, but you don't have a burr up here. That's fine. Just remember that you don't have the burr there. Then you're going to twist to your left and lift up. Switch it around. Get it to where you feel comfortable. I'm kind of doing like a little bit weird angles, you know what I mean? But it's for a reason. And then I'll start at the notch there, right? As far up as I can. And draw it down. And hit the tip of that knife. Hit the tip of the knife with my finger. With the tip of my finger right in the center of my nail. Stop, so I don't round the tip off. You know what I mean? Don't want to do that. I have done that with this knife. I have done that with other knives. The way that I was sharpening before, and that's the reason what I'm doing now. I'm trying to get that fixed. You can also start here with the stone right in the center and push up until you hit that edge. Right? So you're gonna push up till you hit there. Or you can go the opposite way and stop there. This, if you really, really want to save your tip, this is probably the better way to go, is this direction. Because you're not going to fall off the edge, you're not going to round it, and you're starting flat at the beginning with your tip right in the center of the stone, and you're stopping, right? You can do this number. I've seen people that do this. Now, to me, I feel like you're not going to get a consistent sweeping blade, I believe. Now, this is just me. I don't know. Maybe other people can. But I kind of feel like you're going to kind of dig grooves in here and there, and maybe the stone goes a little this way, a little that way, and then you got a bunch of ditches and mountains and valleys in your blade. So, not a real big on that idea, although I have used it to try to get the rounding out of my tip. So on this particular blade and on the other one that I carry most of the time, because of the way that I was sharpening before, I do have, you can see it right in here, because I've been using the coarser stones. So if you look real close, right in there, you're going to see that the bevel that I'm putting on there doesn't match the old bevel. And that sucks, because, you know, when I get a polished finish on this, you're going to see the multiple bevels, right? But you know what? If the knife works, then the knife works. And eventually, after use, the bevels are going to work their way up and match each other. So it's not that big of a deal. It's the worst here towards the tip, and as you go it gets extremely thin to where you can't even see it. Also, well, I think it's probably more because of the way that I was doing it before, but the bevel would start at like a factory angle and then get wider and wider and wider as it went. But as I start sharpening it and I'm doing it more accurately the way that I'm doing it now, and it's going to eventually find its way to the same spot, and you won't be able to see that anymore. Now, is this like a showpiece that, you know, people like to take pictures of their EDC and blah, blah, blah? Well, I've kind of screwed it up, but whatever. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get the mirror edge on it, which is better for push cutting. The more teethier blade is better for slicing. And the mirror edge is what I'm aiming for. As you're learning to sharpen, you're going to make mistakes, and this is mistakes that I have made, and hopefully me showing you this will, if you're using the same system as me, this will give you an idea of what not to do, exactly what you need, and hopefully this will improve your sharpening, and it'll keep you from making mistakes, hopefully, with some luck. It'll help you keep from making mistakes. So what you want to do is you want to do one side until you have your burr, and hopefully the burr goes all the way to the other side. I think I already explained this to you. Then you do the other side, and you want to make your burr go all the way to the other side. But if you're missing a spot, don't stop and keep doing the same side over and over and over and over, because you're going to move that bevel. So I think I just said something stupid. Anyways, just keep doing the same, each side, the same amount of times until you get a burr that goes the full length of your blade. And don't let your stone rotate off of the tip. And then work your way down to the grit. Another thing that I'm going to start doing is, so let's say I start with the CRKT side, right? Then I move to the home front side. That's one. So I'm going to mark that down on a piece of paper and go back. That's 2. That's 3. Mark it down on the paper, so I can figure out exactly how many strokes I'm doing on each side until I get the burr going the whole length. All right. Anyways, guys, I hope this helps you out. You have a good night. Try to stay out of trouble, and y'all take it easy. Peace.